Hi, in this video we'll take a look at the SFTP server connection and component that can be used to trigger an integration so the integration can act as an SFTP ingest. This will allow an external system or application to SFTP a file to trigger our integration to process it and send it onward. So let's create an integration called Hello SFTP Server, and here's our canvas. So we're going to create an event here, and we're going to look for our SFTP server, and there it is. So let's click that, and you see the configuration panel for that. The first thing we need is a connection. So let me click Add, and let's call this SFTP server. This is our connection, and here's how we configure it. So we're going to choose the authentication. We'll pick basic authentication, and for the username, let's just call it admin. And you can see here the actual username is admin cx52-d. I'm going to copy that and also make that my password. Okay, and now let's click Update. So that is our SFTP server, and you can see the folder details, and in order to trigger an integration, we need to upload a file to the /incoming folder. So let's close that and cancel that, and now let's go back to our SFTP server component, click refresh, and let's select the SFTP server we just created in our current project, and we're going to process CSV files. So the file type is string. The file pattern, let's just use *CSV. And for the subdirectory path, we will not create a subdirectory under /incoming. We'll just pull the /incoming folder. And for batch, we can process multiple files or a single file. Let's just process one file per integration. And then we'll click Save. And that's it for this integration. We'll use this integration in subsequent videos to actually process the file, but let's just see how it works. So I have to enable or activate this integration. I'll do so as follows, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to my desktop, and I see here a CSV file, first name, last name, email, gender, job title, state, city, and consumer. And I am going to, well, that's the contents. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up FileZilla, and we're going to create a connection. So it's a new site. Let's call this test. And let's select SFTP. We know the let's use normal. We know the username and password are that. And let's get our host. I should have copied it when I was here. That's our host. And the port we'll put here. And I don't think we need that. I'm fairly certain that's what we need to configure our FileZilla, which is an FTP client. So let me click OK. And now let's connect. And you see that we successfully connected. And you can see the two folders that are exposed. So I'm going to go to incoming. And if I look here on my desktop on my file system, here is my CSV file, so I will drag this over here. And this should trigger my integration to run. Now, how do we know that? Let's go over to the monitor, and let's see if we have a transaction. I can see here, Hello SFTP Server. Let's click on it. I see that the event did trigger. Let me click on it down here, and if I expand that, I can see it was a success. There was one file, and here is the one file and there is the contents, first name, last name, email, gender, etc. And you can see the file name, file length, and success. So here we saw how we could create an SFTP server connection and use an SFTP server component to trigger an integration so that we can SFTP files to Fusion for further processing. Thank you.